Howdy everyone, it's UFO Bob, and once again I'm out and about, and I'm going to take you on a little impromptu tour of homes that are over 100, but I am much better. And I want to thank all of you for the well wishes and the kind thoughts and so on. Today, and transmission is unstable due to weak network. Well, excuse me. I guess I'm going to have to keep going. I hope the heck it's going to run. Anyway, come on. Let's tell you what. We'll get out of the vehicle. Maybe that will help. Okay. You know, that's the one problem about streaming, is that you never know what your signal is going to be like. That seems to have helped a little bit. Hey, Susan. Good to see you. Do me a favor. Don't use that name on the chat in the future. Thanks. I'll explain that to you. Looks like we're going to have trouble with the network, folks. That means I may end up dumping this live stream later and uploading the archived version that's on the phone right now. So one way or the other, we'll have a nice day. So as I was saying, yesterday and Saturday and part of even Friday, we had an extraordinary amount of rain. I've never seen it this heavy for this long in recent history. I know I'm not angry. I just kind of heads up. Okay. All right, don't worry. And I started noticing something. It turned out that it's every time the weather turned bad and with rain, and it's been on the weekends. Michael Sasano, aloha. Good to see you, my friend. Michael's in Hawaii. Every time it rains, I felt worse. And I didn't understand that at the time. I thought I was just not doing well, and I wasn't. And but what I did is that the light went off over the weekend. And I thought I better look this up and see if weather can affect people with bronchitis. And lo and behold, it can. Now I don't know the science behind it yet. I'm going to dive into it later, but it has to do with the high humidity and the low barometric pressure, and for some reason that affects your breathing and so on and so forth. So anyway, let's get that out of the way and let's get the show on the road. We'll swing the camera around and hopefully the signal will stay stable. We're in Old Town Tustin, which is located in Orange County, California. And this, as I said, is a bit of an impromptu stream. Now, normally I stream on the weekends, but because of being ill and because of the rain, I chose not to stream. In fact, I hadn't planned to stream. I just said, okay, fine, I'll just stream next week. But I had to go to the bank, and my bank's not far from here. And I thought, it's a beautiful day. It's a gorgeous day. And it's a perfect day for a live stream. So then I had to go, okay, fine. What are you going to talk about? The answer is, I don't know. And part of that is what we're going to do here, is that, hey, these guys are talking about me. I'm certainly pro-fun. To do a complete history of Tustin. I'm probably going to do it in 2 or 3 segments. Oh man, look at that. Tustin Presbyterian Church. That was probably built in the 30s, maybe the 20s, based on the architecture. I'm not an architecture buff, but I've lived in this area long enough to kind of have a sense of what the various years that buildings were built in. Now that's really awesome. That's beautiful. Let's see here. There we go. There you go. Anyway, the bottom line, it's buffering, huh? Sorry about that, Michael. Like I said, I may have to just upload this, re-upload this. I'll delete the live stream later and I'll just re-upload the archive version. So here's one of these houses. Now, like I said, these have been preserved. They're historical homes. They are in use. I believe some of them are businesses, and I believe some of them are historic buildings that you can actually visit. So we're going to go up and check out the sign here and see what it has to say. Here we go. All right. Well, it turns out it's a medical office, multiple offices. We have a licensed psychologist, a child therapist, relational coach. Okay, Michael, thanks for stopping in. We'll talk to you, down the road. All right, so we're going to go up here. There is a plaque that's on the wall. And okay, there you go. Look at this. This is the Stevens house, built in 1887, restored in 1981, and it's part of the National Registry of Historic Places. That is just so awesome. I mean, these places are so beautiful. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but then again, I am old. But I love this style of architecture. Modern architecture is so bland, and it's, frankly, I think modern architecture is basically dehumanizing for the most part. Now, I'll be honest, when I was young, I liked that modern stuff. I liked science fiction. I wanted to live in the future. But you know what? I've discovered that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. I would much rather be able to sit here on a porch and talk to my neighbors as they walk by. And instead, and again, this is no complaint to those who watch my show, but the fact is that nowadays, most social interaction is on social media, where you are essentially disconnected physically from those that you're communicating with. And I think that it has its benefits, but I also think it has some great disadvantages. But it is what it is, and so we'll just have to live with it. Can't change it. Life goes on. Oh, let me take a look at this. Hey, how many of you have seen the movie Psycho? This house has a little bit of it's simply because of the architecture, but I could see this on a cloudy night, and the shades are pulled down and the spooky music. It's so neat. Or for those who grew up in the 60s in America, there was a TV show called Munsters and the Addams Family. There was a lot of that sort of stuff back then. So I have not been here. We are exploring this together. I just knew the area. I decided to stop and thought we'd check it out together. Let's see here. Now, I'm curious. Please leave a comment either in the chat or in the comments, in the replay. Do you have places like this where you live? Do you have homes that, or buildings in your area that are 100 years or more than 100 years old? Let's take a look. This really spurs me to want to get out and finish this story I have about Tustin. Oh, and let me go ahead and point out that, like I said, I had started this research on the history of Tustin and about these old homes, because there's actually a place where you can go and actually, I believe, walk inside some of these old houses. That's what I noticed when I was doing my research. But then I got sick, and I just kind of shelved that project. So this is a good excuse for me to get out here and check things out. Now, what's really interesting to me is that you look at these. Now, these must have been expensive houses in their day. You know, these are big. These are these are probably worth, I don't know, 4, 5 million, maybe more. I mean, look how big they are. I hope you get a sense of the size and scale. And you know, I believe some of these were actually moved to this location. They're relocated. And now, what's interesting, I was going to say, is that, see, across the street, you have these kinds of houses. Now, these are from like the 40s and to some degree the 50s. Let's see if I can cross the street without getting myself run over, huh? So far, so good. All right, show you what's over this way. This is where I'm at. And I apologize if the signal is wonky. As I said before, I'll re-upload this live stream so that you can get a nice quality version. So really, this is about it, I think. There's not much more to show you right now. What we'll do is we'll walk across the street and through the complex and back to the car. How's that? You know, again, this was an impromptu live stream. This helps me maintain my goal of streaming once a week. And fortunately, because of the way the weather turned out and the fact that I had to go to the bank, all of us get to explore this together. This stuff, look who's this, sports therapy. Please knock. Yeah, I really want to get back into the research of these old homes in Tustin and do an edited story about them for you. Hopefully the audio is not too bad. One of the things I've discovered as I watched these in the replay is that when the iPhone switches over to the forward, what I call the forward camera, the view that you're looking at, the quality of the audio diminishes. And I'm working on a solution for that. I'll tell you about that next week. That's beautiful. Look at that. It's pretty neat. I'll tell you, to be honest, it feels great to be outside. I have been inside the house for 3 days straight, and most of that in bed, trying to beat this damn bronchitis. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much. The doctor told me a month ago, by that time I saw the doctor, I'd had it for 2 months. I knew it was bronchitis. I'd done my research. You can watch the live stream, several live streams I've done about it. But everyone was encouraging me to go and see the doctor, so I did. And that doctor told me that I would probably have bronchitis for another 2 months. Well, I'm in my 3rd month. In fact, today basically starts my 4th month. I got sick January 4th. This is the 2nd, I believe, or is this today the 1st? If it is, it's April Fool's, huh? I'm sure there's a joke in there, but I don't feel like working it. This is the one thing I have noticed. I'm gonna swing the camera back around. Come on. It doesn't want to swing around wide. It doesn't want to. Come on, swing around. All right. User error. So, what I've done it again. I've lost my train of thought. And here comes those wonderful jets flying into Orange County Airport. Let's wait for it to fly by. Trying to find a nice background shot for you. I'm always looking for a nice shot. Oh, some nice plants here too. Okay. I'm totally, like I said, this is impromptu, but in Japan and other places around the world, including the United States and Washington, D.C., the cherry blossoms are blooming. Now, I have, but I thought I'd share those with you. We'll go out here. We'll go back out to the street one more time. So, well, let's see. I'm sorry. This is the one reason why I don't normally do impromptu streams, because when you're doing stream of consciousness talking, you can have lulls in the conversation, and it can be dull and boring, and I hate doing that. Oh, look at this. An old gas pump. This is certainly before my time. Let's see. For use as a motor fuel only, contains lead. Well, of course, nowadays that's not allowed. I wonder what the age is. Look at it, and up here they have gasoline tax totals. Just looks like there was a stamp or something. You know, they probably put the amount of the tax or the total up there on the, you know, they'd slip it in and out because they would change the price of the gasoline. All right, I think that should do it for today. Now, who's there? Who's that? Ohio. Kyoko. Hey, Kyoko. Kyoko, Nihongo o hanashimasu ka? Oh, I'm doing it bad. I should have known not to try. You know, 私の日本語はちょっとままです。まだ勉強しています。いつか私の日本語が上手でしょう. I hope. I just said that I hope that someday, and first I'm still studying, after all these years, and I'm hoping that someday my Japanese will be better. Hope you understood that, Kyoko. Anyway, all right, guys, look, I've been at this, 19 minutes? I think it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for joining me. Oh, yes, remember, if you enjoyed the program, how about leaving a comment, say something pleasant or unpleasant if it strikes you that way. Subscribe, of course, and hit that like button and the bell notification, all right? And we'll go out on a shot of the church. Hang on. There you go, a nice wide shot. Thanks everyone for joining me on this impromptu live stream, and I shall see you guys next week, I hope.